Hello, my love. I've missed you, I did. How have you been? I just made that up. So, I'm here to bring you what you need to know. So, I'm sorry for the long delay, first of all. And, yeah. Without further delay, let's get straight into it. So we're doing what you need to know. So what does God need you guys to know right now? We're going to do Aries to Pisces in one video. So hopefully. So Aries. I should be writing this down. 46 seconds. What does God need you to know? Oh yeah, I was supposed to be finding some background noise. Alright. Okay. At the bottom of the deck we have Mistress of the Labyrinth. My soul knows the way. And the only way out is, there you are, it's through. It just came on by itself. So your soul knows the way. So it's all about you tapping into your deeper self right now and recognizing that the only way out is through. So if you're trying to avoid something or someone at this time, you're not doing yourself any favors. You're actually delaying the process even more. That's the first thing you need to know right now. Mystery card. If there's anybody trying to block this reading, Lord, please remove them so that we can get on with what we've come to do. Thank you. Alright, Aries, the first one we have out, it says, Our Lady of the Hermits. It says, I transform pain and suffering into a greater capacity to love. So what I could tell you about this greater capacity to love is that sometimes the priority to love need to lay with others, but sometimes the priority to love need to lay with ourselves. So it's about putting yourself first sometimes, or putting other people first sometimes. So according to whatever situation you're in right now, you will use your discernment to decide, well, who is more important or what is more important right now. So it's about prioritizing, not being greedy, not being improper, not being unjust. What's the fair thing to do at this time? So whatever's hurting you, if you do the fear thing, it will minimize the pain. Okay? You'll help to make things much better. The next one we have is the Mother of God. It says, I am blessed. My courage gives birth to the divine. So there you go. So if you're afraid to either put yourself first or to put someone else first, or to prioritize this over that. God is saying your courage will give birth to the divine. So what does that mean? That means that you actually having the courage to do what you need to do, what you know you need to do, not what you think is easy, but what you know you need to do, will actually bring about the best possible scenario for you. So right now is a time to employ courage so that you could give birth to what is divine. Because the opposite of divine is basically destruction, torment, all these type of things, imbalance, and that brings degradation. I was trying to find a D word. Okay, so the mystery card, it says the enlightened feminine. It says my gut instinct is wise beyond reason. I trust my intuition to guide me. Exactly. So deep inside you, you know what's the right thing to do. Whether or not you have the courage, that's another story. But if you don't have the courage, you need to pray for the courage, because if you don't, you're gonna throw things even more out of balance. Okay? The bottom of the deck, we have Mistress of the Labyrinth. My soul knows the way. My gut instinct is wise beyond reason. And the only way out is through. So do not avoid whatever this is or whoever this is if you want to bring about balance in your life. All right? And that's it for you. So Taurus at 6:35. Seriously. Taurus at 7:02. Where's my pen? Okay, Taurus, let's see. What do you need to know right now, Taurus? Alright, Taurus, at the bottom of the deck, we've got the Goddess of Self-Knowledge. The essence of who I am flows effortlessly into everything I create. Yep. So if you're being in your own authentic energy, whatever you create will be a reflection of who you are. So if you love what you see, then that's a great thing. If you don't like what you see, then perhaps you need to make some shifts within so that it can manifest outside. Okay, so let's get your message. That's the first thing that you need to know. So we got the Poetess. It says, I love every inch of my body and I love the women in my life fiercely. Okay. I love every inch of my body and I love the women in my life fiercely. I don't think that needs much explanation. So it's about loving yourself, and this is talking about the physical self and your physical world. So whether you're a female or a male, it's talking about you loving your body. and loving people of the same sex as you fiercely. So instead of competing or comparing yourself with others, it's good to make peace with who you are, get to know who you are, and if you want to make any changes, stay on your own path and make those changes. Don't watch other people and make that your guide, because everybody's built differently physically, and also their mentality is different to yours. um Also the spirituality, also what people eat, what they don't eat, all these things make up who we are as a whole. Also the company they keep, like, are the people around them inspiring, are the people around you inspiring you, to become your best self. So instead of watching somebody else's life, pay attention to yourself and what you got going on and what you need to include or exclude from your situation so you can meet your goals. Okay, don't watch anybody else. Stay in your lane, do your own thing. Okay, because watching other people is going to lead you off your track, and then you're gonna feel bad when you don't attain what other people attain. Everybody looks different, and all the other factors that I mentioned before. Don't do it to yourself. Be your best self. Okay, so the underlying issue we have here, the goddess of self-knowledge. See, self-knowledge. Stay in your own lane. The essence of who I am flows effortlessly into everything I create. So it's about exactly what I said, allowing yourself to be you. Watch the factors that you have to deal with around yourself and manifest according to what you have to deal with within your own sphere. Okay? And you're gonna achieve the best for you. All right, don't compare or compete with anybody else. Right? It's not healthy, and it's not right. It's not smart. Do you, only you. Yeah. And anybody who wanna tell you any shit, say fuck you. You can tell them nicer, but yeah, you know what I mean. 1225 Gemini. Gemini. What do you need to know right now, Gemini? Hang on, Gemini. All right, Gemini, we've got the goddess of compassion. It says, I recognize suffering in order to release it. Curiosity breeds compassion. So you should recognize suffering, not to hold on to it, not to let it grow, not to let it fester, not to let it bring out the beast in you, but rather to release it. Understand it and say, you know what? If there's something I can do about it, I'm gonna do it. If there's nothing I can do about it, I'm not going to worry about it. It can stay over there. Like, Lord, I think this is yours. Thank you. And then the next part says, curiosity breeds compassion. So that means, like, if you have questions, you have to, like, humble yourself. You have to be calm and respectful in order to get the best out of others or even things, if that's what it is, because anger, it makes us do stupid things. So you need to center yourself and then approach a situation or a person. Okay? Don't approach important matters or even unimportant matters in a bad mood, because you put in the wrong code, you're gonna get the wrong result, basically. Okay? So if you talk to somebody nicely, if they respond to you like a dickhead, then you have no control over that, but at least you can rest knowing that you approach the situation correctly, and therefore the universe will conspire to bless you. Okay? Right. So you're gonna get what you want anyway, if you approach it correctly, or get the understanding that you're seeking if you approach the situation correctly. That's the first thing you need to know. I just thought about approaching something like a dickhead. What does it mean? But right now, a dickhead seems to not care. Dickheads, they're not very smart, are they? They lead their owners astray. So yeah, I think I used the right words. Yeah, senseless. Yeah, that's what a dickhead is. Senseless, stupid, careless, reckless, lacking self-control. Alright, so the first card we have out for you, we have the Warrior of Light. It says, I have a steel-like faith in myself. The angels armor me with conviction. Wow. So, you need to have a steel-like faith in yourself, but only when you know that you have exerted the right energy into something or someone. It doesn't make any sense to try to be wrong and strong. That's never a good formula. Okay? So, once you know that you've put the right energy into whatever it is that you're dealing with, then just rest, knowing that you've done your part. And if it doesn't work out for you right away, then trust that the universe will come through for you. Okay? It will not go unnoticed. Now, this one is in the... I don't know why it's in the reverse. Feels correct this way. It's in the reverse. The Goddess of Discernment. It's in the reverse. So, dickhead. Because if you're not using your common sense to understand things, then that means you're just making dickhead moves, innit? So that's why it's important for you to use your compassion, for you to calm down, okay? Approach people and situations with the level of respect that it is due. Not because it deserves it or not because they deserve it, but because it's the right energy to employ at this time, because you want to win the battle. Okay? So like I said, it doesn't make any sense for you to put your trust in people or things responding to you in the way that you hope. You need to put your trust in the universe. Okay? Because like we have learned so many times over and over, just because you're nice to somebody, it doesn't mean that they're gonna be nice to you back. Alright? So let go of that and just do the right thing because it's the right thing to do. Okay? So the Goddess of Discernment card says, I spend my time wisely. I only say yes when it's a holy hell yes. But in the reverse, one does not spend their time wisely and one does not listen to their intuition. So they'll be iffy about a situation and still approach it as though they have conviction, as though they are sure, as though they have that self-belief or belief in self. You see, that's dickhead movements. Okay? You can't plant corn when you want peas and expect peas to grow. Right? So Make sure you put in the energy that you actually want to get out of a thing or a person. Whether they give it back to you, that's irrelevant. You're gonna get it back anyway. Okay? If it's from the same thing or people that you're giving it to, then that's lovely. But if it's not, you will get it back. Okay? That's a good lesson for myself. So, the underlying issue, we have the essence of all Buddhas. It says, I have the power to make each moment sacred. Exactly. So you do the right thing, not because you expect people to respond to you in kind, but just because it's the right energy to put out into the world, because you know that you can't expect fairness from people or things, but you can expect it from the divine at the right time. Okay? It says, everything is material for my liberation. So, by you expressing that sacred energy, which just simply means the energy of rightness, the energy of correctness, by you putting that out into the world, everything is material for your liberation. So everything comes together for your freedom, for your peace of mind, for your success. Okay? So, do the right thing because it's the right thing to do, not because you expect people to respond in kind. Alright? That's the winning formula. Alright. Cancer 2123. Okay, Cancer. We've got the Princess of Mercy. It says, giving is receiving. The energy of the universe is merciful. Ooh. So it's all about you being merciful at this time. So it says giving is receiving. So to give mercy is to receive mercy, because there's a phrase that we say in the Caribbean, there's no mercy for the merciless. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, if somebody wronged you, or if you perceive somebody wronged you, whether it's true or not, if you go all out, guns full blasting, you may create bad karma for yourself. So if you're willing to forgive, then the universe will be willing to forgive you when you break the law or you overstep your boundaries. The universe will conspire to bring you justice and mercy. However, if you refuse to be merciful to others, if you refuse to be forgiving, then when you are in need of these energies, it will be denied. Okay? You won't get it. So, put the energy out into the world that you would love to receive. That's the first thing you need to know. Alright, so it says, the mistress of the labyrinth. It says, my soul knows the way. The only way out is through. So it's tough, okay? It's not easy being forgiving. It's not easy to extend mercy to someone when we feel like they have wronged us in some way. It is not easy. What is easy is to allow ourselves to be guided by our emotions. But at the end end of that chapter, we tend to live with regrets. We tend to have wounds, whether it is physical wounds or emotional scars. We leave the battlefield wounded, okay, to some extent. And if those wounds aren't perceived immediately, then in the future, when you think it's all over, you be having feelings popping up that is like, damn, I thought that shit was gone. I am speaking from experience, okay? So, your soul knows the only way out is through. So, you have to discipline yourself. You have to calm yourself in whatever situation this is and let some shit go. Let it go, whatever it is. That's basically what God is saying to you right now. It will behoove you to let something go and let the universe take care of it, okay? As opposed to try to seek justice for yourself and end up overstepping your boundaries and then turn the karma back on you, okay? So that's what you need to know right now. Don't try to run away from being merciful. It's hard, but if you do it, you'll be rewarded. When you are in need of mercy and forgiveness, it will come to you, okay? The underlying issue here, we have the Mother of God. It says, I am blessed. My courage give birth to the divine. Exactly. So by you putting in your best effort to have the courage to be merciful and forgiving even when you don't want to be, that's going to turn around and be a blessing for you. You are actually giving birth to a divine situation. And my friend, we all fall from time to time. All of us. Whether we do it deliberately or accidentally, we all fall from grace. We all wrong someone at some point in time. So I would suggest that you express your mercy now so that you have a mercy card that you can use later on in the game. Okay, you know, like when you're playing Monopoly, you get out of jail card, like that. So if you express that mercy now, you'll have one on the books for you and you will be rewarded, or it will be reimbursed. Okay? Give what you're willing to receive. Right. Okay, that's it. 2739. This is Leo. Alright, Leo, let's see. What do you need to know right now? Alright, Leo. Let's see. So we have the Saint of Authenticity. It says, I am my authentic self in all circumstances. Or at least 99.9% of them. That'll be good stats. Because I don't think anybody's ever their authentic self in all circumstances. You know, sometimes we hold back. We may not lie, but just by omission, just to keep the peace. You know, alchemy. That's like spiritual alchemy or behavioral alchemy. We hold back some, okay? But it's better to be your authentic self more times than not. So that's basically what this is saying. I am my authentic self in all circumstances. Majority of circumstances will do. Let's choose the right ones. Not just the ones where it's easy to be yourself. Sometimes you have to just give people the ugly truth, innit? Leo, so the card we have to come out for you says the goddess of discernment. Exactly. So the right situations. You're allowed to not be your authentic self sometimes, but sometimes it's better, even though it's hard, to be your authentic self. You know you're gonna ruffle some feathers, you know, it might stop you from getting what you want, things like that, but being honest will serve you better than to lie to get what you want or to lie to keep peace type thing. So it says, I spend my time wisely. I only say yes when it's a holy hell yes. The goddess of discernment. So it's like sometimes your intuition might be telling you that this is the moment to be honest. Whenever your intuition is telling you that, do that. Okay? I'm thinking, is there ever a time when it's good to ignore your intuition? Because like I said, there are some situations where sometimes it's better to omit the truth, like just don't say anything, to kind of create good alchemy or peaceful alchemy, to kind of get the result that you want in your dealings with a person, place, or thing, or idea, or whatever this is about for you. I would say follow your intuition 99.9% of the time, especially if you're in the middle of a war. If you're in the middle of a war, then sometimes not doing the obvious thing or not being your obvious self is like a weapon, because you introduce the element of surprise. It's like you can throw people's um, their schemes out of whack by you not responding how they believe you would. Because if you're in the middle of a battle, then your enemies, smart enemies, they'd be studying you. So if people are studying you and they know how you behave, they know what you believe and they know what you're willing to do and not do, then that's one time where I think it would be wise to not be your authentic self. You know what I'm saying? Just throw that shit off. But you use your discernment and decide when it's time to do these things. So the underlying issue, we have the saint of authenticity. I am my authentic self in all circumstances. So your intuition will guide you on when to be predictable and when to be unpredictable. So in that sense, your intuition should be listened to at all times, because God is smart. So if God is guiding you, then that means that, and that's where a lot of people lose as well, because God will tell us to do something sometimes, and because it's so freaking out of sync with what we know to be true or what we know to be natural, what we know to be successful, we'll doubt, and therefore we don't do. But if we would choose to trust, then what would the outcome be? Are you understanding? So use your discernment. All right? Yeah. About when to be authentic and when to just throw somebody's shit way off. Because it's like, you think you know me. You don't know me like that. I have the power to do this. I have the power to do that. I can be this. I can be that. You can't catch me. All right, Leo. So let's see now. I'm finished there. 3410 Virgo. Virgo, what do you need to know at this time? Let's see. Virgo. Let's see. We have the Saint of Spoken Words. It says, every word I say becomes a prayer. I am the author of my own story. So there's power in the tongue, Virgo. So be very mindful how you're speaking to others, and mostly how you're speaking to yourself. So the question is, what have you been saying to yourself? Because every word becomes a prayer. So that means you're asking for things. So if you're speaking positively to yourself, then you're asking for positive things. If you're speaking positively to other people, then you're asking for positive things for them. If you're saying negative things to yourself about people, it's like asking for negative things for them. So if you want to bless someone, you need to speak that language. If you want to curse someone, you need to speak that language. Okay? So it's about knowing that there's power in your words. Okay, so be very mindful what you say to yourself and to others. That's the first thing that you need to know. Let's see. And what you say about yourself and about others. Okay, be mindful. So we have the Red Lady. It says, I am pure strength. I honor my anger by giving voice to it. See? So, when we're angry, if we do not usually practice self-control, we tend to say things that we don't mean. And every word you say is a prayer. So watch what you say, especially when you're angry. It says, I honor my anger by giving voice to it. So that means even when you're angry, you need to say what you mean. Don't just say mean things to hurt people. Don't just speak lies so you can win an argument or anything like that. Okay? Because you're going to throw things out of whack. What you say can and will be held against you in the universal court of law. Okay? So, it's very important for you to mind what you're saying to and about yourself and others, even when you're angry, and especially when you're angry. I'm hearing. Don't just say something to hurt somebody else's feelings, because that shit will come back to bite you in the ass. And at the bottom of the deck, we have the the Saint of Spoken Words. It says, every word I say becomes a prayer. I am the author of my own story. So when you start seeing bad things that you have said in anger actually manifest, know that it was the power that you put into the universe that helped to manifest it. Okay? So make sure you take your share of the blame when these things happen. Now that you know, going forward, be mindful what you say. Whether you're happy, you're angry, you're confused, whatever state of mind you're in, still be mindful of your words. Or to be very safe, if you're not sure what to say, just be silent. Silence is golden. Okay? Alright, that's it, Virgo. 4008. Libra. Hello. Alright, so Libra, what do you need to know at this time? Libra, let's see what your message is at this time. We've got Our Lady of the Hermits. I transform pain and suffering into a greater capacity to love. Very hard to do, but if you've mastered the art, that means you're a freaking superstar. You're a superstar of self-control. Okay, so basically this card is saying shit happens, don't allow it to keep you down. Okay, if you could fix it, fix it. If you can't fix it, leave it and keep it moving. And don't allow shit to break you. Allow things to make you into a better you, not into a bitter you. There we go. Yeah, a greater capacity to love means that you keep elevating. Keep elevating no matter what. No matter what. Okay. This too shall pass. All right. So the first card we have was in the reverse. It says the Queen of Heaven and Earth. It says, I have nothing to hide. I see and accept all that I am. But we're going to check to see if it's actually meant to be in the reverse or not before we continue. Let's check the energy. Interesting. So, let's go again. Alright, so we're gonna just keep it sideways because it's like you seem to have something to hide to some degree and you don't see and accept all that you are. So it's like you're in between realms when it comes to being in this energy. Okay? So you're in between realms when it comes to facing the full truth of whatever it is that's going on right now in whatever situation. You know what this is for you. But it's like you're in between heaven and earth right now. You're basically wandering between the realms. So you're in between your humanity and your divinity. Okay. So it says, I have nothing to hide. I see and accept all that I am. So maybe it's not that you actually have something to hide, but I feel it could be, well, for some people it's because you feel you need to hide some things. But for some of you, if you're in like my case, is that I wasn't seeing and accepting all that I am. So it's not that I want to hide, it's that things were being hidden from me. So because I'm a Libra, I can relate to this, and that's how it resonates for me. So some of you will be in the same boat that I am in when it comes to that. Some of you will be in the boat where you have something that you feel you need to hide. You don't see and accept all that you are. For me, there were things being hidden from me, so I was not seeing, and therefore I could not accept all that I actually am. Okay? Because we're still growing, you know what I'm saying? So it doesn't make any sense to try and rush it. It doesn't make any sense to feel bad about it or anything like that. You can only go with the flow. Okay, we are all works in progress, all of us, always. So just take life as it comes, and when you do see all that, when you do see who you are, accept that is who you are. If you like it, keep it. If you don't like it, change it. Right? The next card we have is the Red Lady. It says, I am pure strength. I honor my anger by giving voice to it. Yeah, so speak. Speak to yourself. Speak to your God. Speak to whoever this person is that's involved in this situation. Speak to a thing if that's what's bothering you. I swear, like if you're trying to fix something and it's giving you too much trouble, let's say you're trying to put together some furniture, speak to that shit. Okay, if you want it to work with you, ask it nicely. You'll be surprised what will happen. I swear I've become a insect whisperer over the last couple of weeks, because they be flying into the house and I talk to them and they leave, and I speak to them nicely. I speak to them with respect, and that shit works. So I don't know, you need to test out the universe to see what it is actually, how it works, you know what I'm saying? Because we haven't been taught anything about the universe. So shit, people are animal whisperers, I could be an insect whisperer. So yeah, so whatever it is, you need to have some conversations with yourself, or have some conversations with someone else, or have some conversations with your God, your guides, whatever it is that you believe in, so that you can come to see who you are, and therefore decide if you want to accept, or no, accept who you are, whether it's good or bad, and then decide if you want to change. Yeah, so it doesn't make any sense to not accept the bad parts of us, because we are who we are. Okay, and it's better to accept it than to run from it, because then the jackass behavior will never go away. So if we know that we got jackass qualities, then we need to address those and get rid of them, because they're only gonna make our lives a living hell, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, so it's about seeing yourself and knowing yourself for exactly who you are. And if you don't like what you see, change it. If you love what you see, keep it and implement it in your life. Use it to help better yourself and better the world. So the underlying issue we have here, we have Our Lady of the Hermit. It says, I transform pain and suffering into a greater capacity to love. There you go. So it's about, when you find out things that you don't like, it's not about you like hating it or allowing it to turn you into a monster, because we can do that if we want to. We could be the sword, or we could not. We could be everything, really. We could be water, earth, air, fire. So yeah, so when you experience pain, it's not for you to just turn into the sword or turn into fire and consume everything and everyone. It's for you to understand it, make peace with it, and then make peace in your life. So whatever you have to do to bring about that peace, trying to make the best decision for everybody involved, then that's the right thing to do. Outside of that, you're going to create more disasters, you're going to create more imbalance, you're going to create more bad vibes around you and within you. Okay, so let's see, let's recap. Yeah, it's about getting to know ourselves for all that we are, whether it's good or bad, and then deciding whether we want to keep it or dash it away. Okay, and it starts by having conversations. So if there's something that you're not pleased about, it says, I honor my anger by giving voice to it. Something that you're not happy about, speak about it, whether it's about yourself or someone else or something or a place or whatever it is. Give a voice to it. Okay, and transform any pain and suffering into a greater capacity to love. So that's also talking about being able to see things from the other person's perspective as well. So don't just focus on you and what you want, what you like and don't like. It's good to see the other person's perspective, so that you can then make the best decision for all involved, because we are the balancers. Okay, you can't go wrong with doing that. You've done your best, then let it go. Okay, so that's it for the Libras. Scorpio, 57. Scorpio, what do you need to know right now? Let's see. my Scorpios. Let me let the blood flow in my foot first. Okay, so we have the red lady. It says, I am pure strength. I honor my anger by giving voice to it. So this is all about you giving voice to your anger right now. Okay, and knowing that you are pure strength. So if you feel like you can't, you're lying to yourself. Because prayer always works. It might take some time, but it works. Sometimes it takes time. Sometimes it happens instantly, but it works. So if you don't have the strength to give voice to your anger, pray for it. Ask for it. Alright, so the first message we have, the apostle to the apostles. I am the bridge between heaven and earth. I am fully human and fully divine. Exactly, you have the strength because you are fully human, which is the energy that you're in now when you're telling yourself you can't, but you're also fully divine, so you're lying to yourself. So if you don't have the strength, ask for it because you have entitlement to the strength to speak your peace to speak your truth. Okay, so yeah. And the next one we have Our Lady of Exalted Light. It says, I give endlessly because the light is without end. My soul is all I need. All right. So what that is saying to me right now, according to the other card that came out, is like, speak your truth and don't watch what happens after. Whatever happens after is meant to happen. So if you giving voice, if you speaking your truth means, if you speaking your truth means that somebody's gonna stop being your friend, or somebody's gonna dump you, or somebody's gonna stop helping you monetarily, or somebody's going to do whatever, you need to know that your soul is all you need. What God needs you to understand right now is, if you keep holding on, so let's picture a rose bush. You're holding the stem, but there are thorns on it right now. If you keep holding on to that, they're gonna keep digging you. Okay? If you choose to let that go, then it won't dig you anymore. So that's basically what you're dealing with right now. You're holding on to something that's digging into you and hurting you. So you need to give your whatever you have to give, because it was talking about you giving voice. So you have to speak your truth and speak your peace, and don't care about what the end result is going to be, because you are fully divine. That means not only can you pray for the courage to speak your truth, but God's not going to leave you without after you speak your truth. So if speaking your truth means that you're going to lose your boyfriend or girlfriend, lose your child, lose your access to money, lose your whatever, it's a sacrifice that you ought to make, because God has something better to give you. But if you keep wrapping your hand around the thorns and not letting it go because you're going to lose something else, you can't get what God is trying to put in your hand. And it's something better, someone better, a better situation. So sometimes people need to hear the truth so that they can fix up. But if you're going to be too afraid to speak the truth, then nothing's ever going to change. You keep hurting, and they'll keep hurting. So if you're ready for a better situation, it's time for you to speak up. And let chips fall wherever they may. And know that God has got you, because you are fully divine. That means you are protected. As long as you're doing the right thing, you'll be fine. And don't be afraid to go through a little bit of a struggle. Life is not made for the weak. Right? So The underlying we have here, we got the goddess of all that flows. Exactly. I am an ocean of creative energy. I give birth to what exists within